Alright, so with Venom The Last Dance, that's now hit theaters, and this is the last in the trilogy, and with 13 films in the Sony Spider-Man Universe of movies, including with the trilogies coming from Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and from Tom Holland, and even with the non-Spider-Man spinoff films as well. And so this will be my full ranking a tier list of all the Sony Spider-Man Universe films that we have, and even though the ones that were good or just like overall just so great or generic. And so that's what I'm going to do here for you guys in this video. And so if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. But now let's get into this tier list. So with the tiers I have for today is A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier. And now first we got is Spider-Man 3, and to me, I don't think that this is a bad movie. It just was not good. And even with the meme of Tobey Maguire was born, but this delivered good action that introduced Flynn Marco, aka Sandman, and Venom all in one movie. It was like the longest movie in the trilogy. But it was Sony that wanted to do all this crazy stuff, and this was a main quality. And to me, this is definitely going in like D tier. Like again, this wrapped up Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy in like a good way, and I wish we would have gotten a fourth movie, but it is what it is. And I like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, but even with this, I think it's overhated, but I still don't think it's a good movie. Next we got is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and now I think like with people that might hate on this film, but to me, I mean, I just think it's solid, but even with Andrew Garfield delivers, if not one of the best performances as Peter Parker, especially towards the end. Even people think that Andrew Garfield is our best Spider-Man, but you know, I mean, I like Andrew Garfield in this movie, and introducing Jamie Foxx as Electro, bringing in Green Goblin, this new version, but I definitely think it's solid. This is definitely going in C tier. Again, I liked it. And even though it was promising stuff at the end that we were never going to see, especially for a Sinister Six, but again, I mean, it's Sony just wanting to do their own thing, especially with other crazy stuff. That's what it is. Next we got is Venom. This is the first movie, and like to me, man, like where would I put this? To me, I think this is definitely going in like C tier, behind The Amazing Spider-Man 2, because even with Venom and even with Tom Hardy being introduced as Eddie Brock, trying to be latched onto the symbiote, and just with their chemistry, it like rocks. And we never expected this to become a trilogy, but even though in the first half, I think it's a little bit of a bore, but when the second half kicks in, for when like Eddie and Venom start to bond with each other, but it becomes a little bit generic. But I still think it's entertaining. It delivers action sequences, especially with Carlton Drake, and especially with Venom going up against a symbiote creature, and for how they introduce things like at the end. But to me, I think it's still a good movie to me. Next one is The Amazing Spider-Man. To me, I still think this is definitely going. Let's see. This is going in like this is going in like A tier, because this introduced Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, and for what this delivered, and I still think this is still very good, because and just even with the emotions that was packed into Peter Parker with this journey, and introducing Dr. Connors, Lizard, and Gwen Stacy, and just with the chemistry, it like totally rules. And to me, I think like this is like a very great Spider-Man movie. But even though there was supposed to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 after this, but introducing like a new version, and I think Andrew Garfield still delivers as Spider-Man, and I think it's also a great Spider-Man movie in my opinion, and also delivers hard for what his delivers as to being Spider-Man as well. Next we got is Spider-Man from 2002. To me, this is going in A tier, because listen, because I really like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, and introducing this as a character for what Sam Raimi has put to the chair, it is really incredible, especially with the Danny Elfman score. And Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, and just with the way with the cinematography, and that it established its superhero genre. I mean, everyone still loves this film, even though I do to this day, and introduced so many great concepts, and just like it felt like it introduced this type of Spider-Man that we all relate to, especially with Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker going through life, and just with all this stuff in general. To me, I mean, again, this is the best Spider-Man film that started it all. Next we got is Spider-Man Homecoming. To me, let's see, I think like this is, you know what, yeah, I think this is definitely going in like B tier, because even with introducing Tom Holland as Spider-Man and introducing this like coming of age story, and just with Michael Keaton delivers as Vulture, he's like a great villain in this movie, and having RDJ mentoring our young Peter Parker again, like I still think it's a good movie, and this is like the movie delivering without the origin story. This is this new version of Peter Parker that was introduced in the MCU after Captain America: Civil War, and just like continuing his journey. And this is like another trilogy with Tom Holland. And to that, I think it's still very, very good. I like Ned and MJ, especially with Liz, and all these other storylines I really liked. And just with embracing Tom Holland as Peter Parker and trying to embrace wearing the mask as Spider-Man, I just really love that. I mean, come on, he's got the charm, he's got the charisma, and it pretty much works. And I definitely love all of it for what it delivers. Next we got is Spider-Man No Way Home. And to that, yeah, this is going in like A tier, because like even though I like Spider-Man Tobey Maguire, but even with Spider-Man No Way Home is the definitive Spider-Man movie. You bring back the other two live action versions of Spider-Man, Tobey and Andrew, not just cameos, but to lift Tom Holland's Peter Parker from the ashes, and this still delivered a lot of heart and like just great action, especially with bringing back all the villains. But it also ended off Tom Holland's Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy perfectly, and even though it got emotions and just everything that you want in a Spider-Man movie, and plus with that, it was celebrating all variations of Spider-Man, and this was my favorite Spider-Man film in my opinion. Plus, I love No Way Home, and I rewatched it every day, like, or every now and then. Now off. Next we got is Morbius. Look, this is going in F tier, because even with Jared Leto, this thing, I think he's not such a good actor for the way that he's portrayed as Morbius, this sort of like, you know, a vampire anti-hero or whatever the heck. But just with like everything that was thrown in here, especially with Matt Smith, and like I believe that there was like a whole chunk of the movie that was missing. I mean, it was an entertaining movie. It was fun, but man, it was such a disappointment. And even towards the end, they brought back Michael Keaton as Vulture for no reason, just to assemble like a Sinister Six that was probably never going to happen, and it just felt so ridiculous, and I forgot that this movie even existed in my mind. And then next guy is Venom: The Last Dance, the newly released movie. To that, I think, yeah, this is going in like D tier, because I just think it was a fun and entertaining ride. It was filled with crazy good action sequences. I like Noel as the villain, and with Tutuel Elderfor that also delivered as a military man. But with having said being like Eddie and Venom's one last adventure, being on the run, this like a road trip kind of adventure in Mexico. But to me, like, this was a mess. It was complete nonsense. And for what it was trying to cap off, like witness the epic conclusion. And with this being the last Venom movie, I'm glad that it is. But Tom Hardy just delivers as Eddie Brock. But I sort of feel like it wasted so much potential. But I still think Noel is definitely set up for the future, especially like with other installments in this universe, or whatever the heck that Sony is trying to build up. But I still think that it was a solid, but it was not the best movie. but it was a good movie out of the two. And to that, I still think it was generic, which is complete nonsense off the board. But to me, I still think, yeah, it's definitely a solid watch. Next guy is Venom: Let There Be Carnage. To me, this is going in like a F tier behind Morbius, because even with Venom: Let There Be Carnage, with that 90-minute runtime, it was like so short with introducing Cletus Cassidy as Carnage. But I feel like this movie rushed through so much, and at the end, it promised us things that we were going to see, but it never actually ended up happening, with Eddie and Venom crossing over into the MCU. Oh, they were going to go up against a Spider-Man, but that actually never ended up happening because of the way that No Way Home handled stuff. But it was just such a mess in between, and to that, I just don't look back on this movie so often. But I just like how they continue Eddie and Venom's adventures together, and with Eddie being a reporter and studying Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson. But I still think that he delivered, but it was sort of wasted. And to that, I just still think, yeah, it's just a really bad movie, and not a fan of. Next guy is Spider-Man 2, and to me, yeah, this is going in like A tier right over here, because Doc Ock is still one of the best Spider-Man villains. You got so many iconic scenes, like the train scene, or with a Spider-Man trying to stop the train with so many people on it, and it delivered so much that you want in a Spider-Man movie. And you have Peter going through a midlife crisis, and trying to figure out what it means within himself to be Spider-Man and to wear the mask, and with everything that has for them, especially with so much power inside of him. And to that, it's just another great Spider-Man movie. But I think Spider-Man 1 and 2 are definitely my favorite, and Tobey Maguire just delivers. And it's also filled with so much stuff that's so iconic. Next guy is Madam Web. Listen, yeah, this is going another F tier movie, because even with this universe that Sony was trying to establish and trying to build up with these non-Sony Spider-Man spinoff, or whatever the heck they're trying to call it, but to me, this was a mess of a movie, and it felt lackluster and so empty. Dakota Johnson is good here, but it just completely wastes her entire performance, especially with the other supporting cast, and especially with these like actresses that were completely wasted. Even with the villain that was weak, it felt like a fan-made movie, and I haven't like seen it like since. But I just remember like this. Yeah, this is like completely awful, and just yeah, this was not my jam, and I just don't look back on it often, and it's so dang awful. The last one that we got is Spider-Man: Far From Home. To me, I still think like people like overhate this film. Some say it's the weakest, but to me, I like Spider-Man: Far From Home, and to that, I think it is definitely going in B tier, because yeah, right there, because it introduced Mysterio, a really great villain, and you have Spider-Man doing his thing, and with Night Monkey introduced, and just with the way that everything is handled, without him being in New York City, I totally lost that vibe. Again, it was not perfect, but it was still a very good Spider-Man movie of continuing Tom Holland's journey as Peter Parker in the MCU, and yeah, that's what I liked about it. And it also set up so much stuff with Tom Holland down the line, and so yeah, this was it was still a good movie. So yeah, that does it for my tier list of all the Sony Spider-Man Universe ranked. Again, this is based on every Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield, and also with the non-Spider-Man movies and the spin-offs. But again, these were good, generic, and not so good movies as Sony wanted to keep on doing. But that does it for this tier list. Let me know in the comments below, and what are your thoughts on this, and how would you rank these movies, and just what are your thoughts on these films in general now that they've all come out. Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for future videos. And also follow all my social media. It's over linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.